What's happening? Amigra. What's up? Happy Friday. I'm yours truly, Nachin Gon, along with my co-host Maria. Tonight we bring you Nachin and Friends, aka Quickie News, Quick Bites, and the extended version where we bring you a topic that's going to make you think differently, enjoy life, and look at it from a different perspective. And tonight's topic is a very special one. We're going to be talking about creating a new type of human, a new breed of human through monkey embryos. Are we farming organs for the good of science, for the, forever life, the eternal life, creating the perfect human? Or what are we doing? Are we playing God? We're going to be discussing that and more. And we also have the topics of from the news. Maria brought some good ones. We're going to be talking about a bunch of them, especially J-Lo and A-Rod. We have a lot of information on that. Correcto, Maria? ¿Cómo estás? Bienvenida.
Correcto. That sounded like Samira was chasing you down the Whittier Boulevard.
No. Here's Bella. Bella, say hi. Come here. Say hi. Say hi to people.
Hi, Bella. Happy Friday, mija.
She says she's going to be on the sidelines tonight, but we're happy you can join us. And this is a great topic. Like, it really got me thinking the entire week about, man, like, are we living like the craziest times ever? What do you think?
We certainly are.
Mm-hmm. We're going through a pandemic. A lot of people say it's a fake pandemic to control society. Those are the conspiracy theories.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Man, there's so many layers to the cookie because some say those people are crazy and you just got to believe in reality. But then, you come and realize that reality is not what it used to be. And we'll be talking about that more and more with the human embryos, right? But right now, you want to get started with the quickie news really quick to warm up, Maria?
So let's get started.
Okay.
What's the first one?
Mira, la primera is the one you sent me about the vaccinated New York Yankees members testing for positive for COVID. Man, that's crazy, huh?
So apparently 9 Yankee players tested positive for COVID after being fully vaccinated. What does that tell you? That vaccine does not work, especially if they're telling you you need to get a booster shot 6 months after. So is this just to make money? What do you think, Nancy?
They say that the powers to be basically control everything, and they control the market. Like, for instance, I'm in the car business, and I know somebody that's in the car business, but at the corporate level. And he was telling me today that, Bella, that basically they're running out of cars. Manufacturers, due to the chip shortage, are not going to be tapping into used car inventory, what we do. Like in my dealership, ISellAutos.com. And the thing is that they're going to be going after like the low-end cars just because they want to move any type of inventory. So what they're doing is kind of like pushing us to the side because they're investing so much money and killing the small man, right? But the whole idea the whole idea behind it, and the point that I'm trying to make is that I told this gentleman that I know, I said, look, at the end of the day, it's the powers above that control the markets. They created a shortage, demand, supply and demand, basic economics. So we are living through crazy times, and I think at the end of the day, it boils down to people trying to be more by acquiring more. And always trying to be that God on earth. I don't know. Ego is kind of crazy. Don't you think?
Exactly. So, let's see. Let's wait and see what happens.
Yeah, let's hope.
Here, after July 4th, things are going to go back to normal. So let's wait. Let's
after
be patient.
July 4th is when, June 15 is when they're going to take out the mask mandate in California.
Oh, yeah, apparently. Exactly.
So we're going to see how things start shifting after they do that. I'm still going to be wearing mine. But
so am I.
I don't know, man. I don't know. So many layers to the cookie. But anyhow, let's get into the next one. They're saying that drinking any amount of alcohol can cause damage to the brain. A new study is finding out.
Yes, I believe so.
No,
Look
you must be drinking a lot, Maria.
I've never gotten drunk in my life. But I see what happens to people that drink a little too much. It's just a little bit of wine. No, it's just a little cerveza.
You know what? It makes you go crazy.
It goes through your head.
It makes you go crazy because it's like a rush of alcohol along with sugar. Like in order for you to have a good wine and a good buzz, I say, you got to get a wine that's $100 plus. And those are very rare because expensive wines are endless. But I think a lot of people that are like here and cannot afford the big drinking, they go to the cheap ones. And even in the guy sector, where guys buy the cheap beer, you know, the Buds, the 40s, and all these cheap beers, and they don't care because they say, yeah, as long as it messes me up, you know, it makes me forget.
Well, now you know.
I've been knowing, pinche Maria.
It's messing with your brain cells. It's killing your brain cells, so stop it. Don't do it anymore.
Hey, somebody's going to say, we're going to die anyways, fool. Who cares, fool?
They care. I bet you they care.
Exactly. Bella's telling me a secret. She says, let's go to the next one. Okay. Here we go.
Let's go to the next
oh, my God. When you sent me this one, I was like, no mames, Maria. No mames. This thing. It's calling all levels. Police are coming out. Everybody's like, cabrones, this is a super news story. No mames.
Attention all individuals. What's going on?
Pinche. Si tuviera Skype, you would see, Maria.
A ver.
No, it's pinche A-Rod poniéndose makeup. How?
Oh, yeah. What's up with that? Looks like he's contouring.
What?
Now he's doing it by himself because J-Lo is no longer next to him.
So he's been wearing.
Oh my God! I'm so sorry for this guy.
He's been wearing makeup for a while. Then
I don't think he's been wearing makeup for a while. It looks like he's promoting something called Hims and Her.
Oh, I see.
But this guy is such a diva. He's a bigger diva than J-Lo. Look at his fake tan.
Could that be the problem why they separated? He was the diva?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Look, déjame. Ya déjame en paz. But whatever it is, I think he's butthurt because the next story kind of like talks about that. A guy on Instagram, Bella. No, let me do the show, mi amor, por favor. A guy on Instagram basically put out A-Rod on blast. He's saying that he's so butthurt because J-Lo went with Ben Affleck that he says that he's going to tell where J-Lo gets her surgeries and everywhere.
Oh my God, poor J-Lo.
Sad.
Well, look, while this guy is posting videos or pictures of himself putting makeup on, J-Lo and Ben Affleck are just jet setting all over the world. How about that?
Oh my God, J-Lo is devious, man. She makes him go crazy. She must give him agua de calzón.
Yeah, and poor A-Rod is posting videos with Big Papi from the Boston Red Sox.
Oh my God.
Come on.
Man. Poor guy.
A-Rod, do you want us to feel sorry for you?
Poor vato. If I had his money, bro, I would be like, no names.
Personally, I have no respect for A-Rod. He's a very smart man. He's very business savvy, but he did something that I don't like.
He's killing it, Larry. He's killing it, Larry.
Cheated.
Well, let's forget about that, Maria, and let's go into the topic of the night. You sent me a story this week about human monkey embryos being created here in a kind of like a laboratory farm, and they're being created for what purpose? Can you give us like a small synopsis?
Yes, let me put on my glasses so I can read. Hold on. Ya ves, estoy viejita. So apparently, apparently this is happening in La Jolla, and I believe it's a Chinese scientist and an American scientist.
Okay.
So scientists have created the world's first monkey embryos containing human cells in an attempt to investigate how the two types of cells develop alongside each other. The embryos, which were derived from a monkey and then injected with human stem cells in a lab, were allowed to grow for 20 days before they were destroyed. What do you think about that, Nachin?
I have a monkey here right now running around. Give me a second. Let me tell him to come down. Belita, Mama, we're doing a show. Please. You said you're going to relax. Calm down, okay? Thank you. Ahorita jugamos, okay, mi amor? Little monkey. So I actually researched and I wanted to see what this meant, and I found the video online. You want to watch it? It's about a minute and a half, and
let's watch
basically kind of like explains this whole thing. And after we watch it, I want to kind of like discuss what they say, because they bring up some crazy points about this whole experiment, and it made me really, really kind of like fear the future, honestly, like talking about this, how thinking, what is the future going to be? Is it going to be like Star Wars? Let's watch it. You have a minute?
Yeah, let's watch it.
Okay, give me a second.
Okay? Let's hear it. Okay.
Ahí te va.
Serious ethical issues are being raised after it emerged that US and Chinese scientists have implanted human cells into monkey embryos. The aim of the research is to understand more about how cells develop and to help research in cultivating organs for transplant. The scientists injected human stem cells, cells that have the ability to develop into many different body tissues, into macaque embryos. The developing embryos were studied for up to 20 days. Other so-called mixed species embryos, or chimeras, have been produced in the past, with human cells implanted into sheep and pig embryos. This scientific group was led by Professor Juan Belmonte of the Salk Institute in the US. He says the work could address the shortage in transplantable organs and help us understand more about early human development, the way disease progresses, and ageing. Catherine DeVold is a senior research fellow at the Oxford Wahiro Centre for Practical Ethics. I asked her if we should see the embryos as human at all.
That's a good question. It's a difficult question. So I think when we create an organism that is a mix between a human and a monkey, we're really not sure at all what sort of organism we have created. I mean, is it a human? Is it a monkey? Is it something in between? And that raises ethical issues, because we don't know how we should treat these creatures ethically. Can we simply use them in scientific experiments? Can we destroy them in experiments when we really don't know what sort of organism they are? Not so many ethical issues there, but of course this sort of research opens the door to research where with chimeras that are allowed to develop further. And then we may create human-animal chimeras with perhaps human neurons in their brains. And that raises a lot of ethical issues, because what looks like an animal may well have mental capacity similar to that of a human being. And in that case, of course, we simply can't use these chimeras in scientific research. We can't just simply destroy them or use them to extract organs for transplantations into humans.
So there you have it, Maria. They're saying that so many layers to this cookie. It's like an onion, because to top it all off, there was a Latino scientist, though American is a Latino descent.
No, yeah.
It's crazy. Like, the idea of they want to sell you is that Bella, monkey, calm down. That creating stem cells from embryos combined with human tissue cells from our DNA combined with monkey to harvest organs so people can, kind of like solve the problem of transplants, kind of makes it sound cool. But as they posed a question in this great report by CNN, what's going to happen the moment that you create a species that develops a full nervous system but is able to think and feel like a human? Are we playing now with the new hybrid? Are we creating a human that it's an animal based, that is going to probably be a superhuman, but a beast, and can control himself and can take over, kind of like the movie Planet of the Apes? Or are we playing God? Those are the questions that I'm putting in my head. Well, what do you have in your head?
Yeah. Apparently the scientists didn't see Planet of the Apes. It's unethical, and I think it's inhumane.
Some say it's for evolution. Only the strong survive, and you have to create a species that's kind of like controlled. But I think underneath it all, they're trying to play God. Great job, Mom.
Remember the monkeys and humans were very similar.
Right. The hands, the handprints, the finger sequence is very similar, you know?
So
the face.
So the question is, did we come from Adam and Eve, or did we come from apes and develop into humans?
You know what? It's so interesting that you pose this question, because right before I was getting ready to do tonight's show, I showered and then I was changing, and I like flipping through the channels, and I had not flipped through one of my favorite shows, which is Futurama. And it's kind of like a sarcastic take on society and the future of society. And in it, there was an episode that was ironically speaking about the superhuman that was a controlling kind of like energy, and it was like in the form of a pulpo, like an octopus. And it kind of convinced all humanity to go up to the next heaven level, as he called it. And once they were there, they started questioning and saying, we're not really in heaven, are we? And he says, oh, you know what? No, it was just me planting ideas into early humans to paint me as, you know, the heavens. And, you know, they took a sarcastic jab at religion. But what I got from it is like, it's an alternative thinking that makes you nowadays think like, for these people, these scientists to do that, they're not thinking about, you know what, who cares what the literature says. It could have been just written text. The science, for the most, as we know, they don't believe in God. They believe in consequences. They believe in logic. That's how they see it. So they say, if it's available to me, why not? It's evolution. It's part of. But I don't know. I think this is really kind of like taking us back in time also, because if you look at the pyramids, and I'm not going to go crazy with this, but I'm just going to make a small reference. You look at the pyramids. I watched this other show on History Channel that talks about like the history of the pyramids, and there's a lot of depiction of animal humans. They say that those are hybrids. Those were the first experiments of the higher intelligence that created us.
Well, remembering Greek mythology, there's something called centaurs, which is half man, half horse.
Right. So many different
in the DC Universe cartoons, which I watch, Lex Luthor created Superboy using Superman's DNA and his DNA.
Wow.
So that's not something new.
So Superboy has both powers.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, he's a combination of Lex Luthor, who's the evil guy, and Superman, who is like it's not his father, it's more like his brother.
Wow, but man, that's crazy. Like, it takes away like the whole idea of being natural and creating monkeys like these naturally, you know? Like through the human way. And it really like makes me think, like, I heard other people tell me, oh man, why did you have kids, man? Like, when I say, you know what, because I wanted to leave my seed behind. And they say, it's not about that, bro. Think about it. Tomorrow's world is going to be worse than what it is today. I said, you know what, I think
unfortunately,
yeah, but honestly, I think like that's how it's always been. Like in other times, like for them, what they were going through seemed like the end of the world. But yet they kept
That's
going.
what my mom used to say, you know, in the 1960s, they would say, oh, the end of the world is coming. The end of the world is coming.
Because of the weed and all this mental revolution, right?
The year 2000 came and the world is going to end, and it hasn't ended. But it's getting worse and worse every day.
That is true. Like, more problems on the street, more homeless.
More violence, more
drugs. Yeah, more violence, more than anything. More than anything. And I think it's going kind of like back to kind of like a, I would say, primitive way.
Think we're coming to like a world revolution, maybe?
Like an explosion, a purge, you know? Yes, everybody's going back to the basics through primal fears, primal instincts of being like an animal, you know? Like, you got to defend your bone. It is what it is. If you look at it at every level, when you're driving, people are a-holes. Some of them. They don't let you get on the lane just because they want to be like right ahead, just in front of you, and things like that you think about it and you're like,
well, just what happened today with I thought it was one of those freeway shootings, but apparently it was road rage.
Wow.
And the little 6-year-old boy was shot and killed.
Jesus Christ, man.
So just because road rage, come on, we need to be a little bit more human, more understanding. There needs to be more compassion in this world.
There really needs to be, but unfortunately, I once talked to a person, a religious person, a priest, and I asked him, I said, why do you think the world is the way it is? He says, because if you look at it from a religious, spiritual, connecting way, he says, God created heaven and earth. He says, and in earth, what it is the souls that are kind of like cleansing themselves to go to the next level. But most of them, the ones that are evil, that means that they're still cleaning up themselves, and they're going to come in another life, like reincarnated, but it's going to be a level of retaking the class because you didn't pass it. He says, if you feel like you're not as evil as you see other people being, that means that you're kind of graduating into the next level of like getting to the next level of being good, So I would like to think of it like that, but now you cannot think like that. Look at the world, what's happening. People killing each other because of a stupid piece of land. It's crazy that we continue to be kind of like primal. And all because of territorial, territorial control.
Yeah. Well, supposedly these embryos are being destroyed or killed after 20 days. But what happens if they let them grow and actually develop into a person/monkey?
Well, we all see movies where the scientist that is working on the project gets greedy and he says, you know what, it's my legacy, is what I'm going to do. If I'm going to change humanity or doom it, who cares? I'm going to do it. And we all know what happens after that.
Well, remember in Planet of the Apes, the human ended being the slave. Let's not forget about that.
Not only that, but, at the end of the day, what happens in that movie? They take over and, yeah, they're cool creatures, but they also have their personalities because
they're violent.
It. Yes. Yes. So I don't know if we need to create those monkeys because we're already behaving so violently naturally, But
apparently this is to harvest organs like a heart, a liver.
Man, what are you creating? A farm of animals? A farm of like the future movies again. You have the heart, you have the things growing. It's amazing. It's amazing how the human wants to kind of like live forever. Yet, Bella,
but
please come down.
We cannot live forever.
No.
There are rumors that some rich people clone their dogs.
Wow.
Whether it's true or not, I don't know.
But you remember yesterday when we were talking about Jurassic Park, how that whole idea of Jurassic Park was because they cloned, well, kind of like not cloned, but they got DNA from a frog and from a mosquito blood that had the DNA from the dinosaurs, right?
Yeah, but remember in Jurassic Park also, the old man cloned his daughter and he told everybody that it was his granddaughter.
Wow.
But in reality, it wasn't. It was his daughter who had been cloned.
Man. And they say that Hollywood tells you the real truth kind of like indirectly, subliminally.
Exactly.
So, I don't know. I like to think that we're not going to get to his level, but
I hope not.
If they're already doing it, I think it's already happening.
Well, some people already have heart valves, actually pig heart valves.
Man.
So the next step is a fully grown heart from a monkey.
Wow. But imagine those that have those valves, they're like, bro, I don't care about cholesterol, bro. I already have the pig in me.
Give me some bacon.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Well, let's hope for the best, Maria. I thank you for joining me tonight and doing this monkey business. And let's hope that, these guys kind of like get a sense for reality and not play God, not play with faith, Fate.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. It's now all for science.
Yeah, that's what they say. Well, thank you so much. And I want to thank our friends at ISO Autos because without them, we wouldn't be here. They provide a roof and food for our family That's our little startup company. Support us, isoautos.com. And we find you the best car that you're looking for. We're professional, and we're also licensed in the state of California as brokers. So anything you need, we're here to help you. So let us know. Maria, thank you so much. Bella says thank you.
Thank you, Bella.
No, she didn't.
We'll talk. Okay. We will talk on Monday.
Yeah, have a good weekend. And enjoy the ride while it looks kind of sane. Enjoy this thing called life. And try to be a better individual and not one that destroys life. Ironically speaking, right before we close the show, Bella was telling me today, just before we were coming into the studio, she says, let's take care of Mother Earth. Earth is our planet. Let's take care of her and let's nurture her. Right, baby? Say bye, Mama. Say, love you guys. Se cuidan. Have a great weekend. Subscribe, share, like, and comment.
Bye.
Yeah, let's say like and like.